All right, everybody, welcome into another great episode of Thrift Chronicles. I am your host, Johnny O, with my other co-host.
Games by Omar. What it do, everybody?
So, Omar, I know we've been kind of busy this week. I know you were sick for a while, for not a while, but I know you were sick last week. I guess there's something going around too because of my kids are sick also too. So now we can get into it and do another episode because I know we haven't done one. So how has been your week so far as in selling?
It's been pretty good. I think for me, most of the stuff that's selling right now is consoles.
Okay.
So, sold a Xbox a couple of days ago, sold a Sega a couple of days before that, and then a PS3 a couple of days before that. I still get regular game sales that are trickling in, but most of my sales right now, I think because of the holidays, have just been straight consoles.
Okay, that's pretty good. Because I know you're always selling consoles like really, really quick. So I know those go really quick for you. What about have you put anything else lately since last time we talked? I know you said you've been using what is it, the cross listing app, Flip. Did you do anything more on eBay this time coming around?
Nah, I've been putting stuff this week. I actually put, I want to say maybe like 20 games or so, on eBay. Nothing moved on there. I went and cross listed it and it did get me my first, Poshmark out of all things.
Hey, to be honest, like I'm gonna say thank you for the Flip because shout out to Flip out there. I know we're not trying to get sponsored. If we do, hey, go ahead and sponsor us. But I think that was like the best thing that you gave me because since using it, and I agree with you too. Like I've put in stuff on Poshmark and I haven't got any sales until this app that you gave me with the free trial. Like I've been getting sales on Poshmark lately. I did try the I don't know if you did it, but I know Poshmark they have it where you kind of could promote your items. But
Yeah.
then the thing is that they charge you per week. So I ended up canceling that. But I feel like even though I did try the little trial, I don't think it really did much because I've been selling on Poshmark here and I at least get maybe one or two sales out of the week. But I'll take that. That's just extra money that's in my pocket. So
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, the cross lister, it does work for me mostly on Mercari. So I'll list it on eBay and then I sell the stuff on Mercari through the cross lifter, most times. So that's been actually pretty good for me. I got a few more TikTok sales as well. I think I'm at like 8 sales already now,
yeah,
seven
that's
or
good.
eight.
That's good. That's good. I'm happy that you're getting the sales because for some reason I ain't getting no sales. And I'm doing what you're telling me, what you explained for me to do everything, but it's not working. So I don't know. Maybe nobody wants to buy no Tumblr cups. I don't know. Everyone wants to buy games because the holidays are coming.
I mean, I think for me, it's all about platform, man. Every platform is different. Cause like I said, a lot of these games that I'm putting on there are the same games that I've had on my eBay sitting forever. So, I've learned, especially with my type of inventory, it really kind of depends on where you put it. So I think TikTok for me maybe is like the lower value games
Hmm.
are doing well and I'll stick with that on TikTok. I won't try to put anything too crazy or I won't try to do consoles or anything like that. Just basic games because it's been fairly consistent. I did run into, I don't want to say my first problem, but it can be an issue. One of the orders that we talked about like 3 episodes ago, um, is still in transit.
What the heck? That's weird.
Yeah, man. I know we talked about the post office, so post office shenanigans have been happening again. I drop off my orders usually next day. I don't like to go more than 2 days without dropping off an order. So I dropped that order off pretty much as soon as I got it in. It was going to Banning, California, which I believe is a little bit up north.
No, that's by me.
Oh, that's by you. Okay, so that's even worse. So it's going, what, like an hour and change out of my way.
Okay.
It was in New Jersey like a week ago. Why it went over there, I don't know. It's basically been hopping all over the United States.
Yeah.
And it was in San Francisco yesterday. So I wrote to the guy and, I was like, hey man, I apologize. It looks like, your package is lost in translation somewhere. I'm checking up on him and, I'll have some updates. He never even responded to me. So I know now TikTok does have, I don't want to pull it up right now, but they have like goals or shipping or delivery goals for you. And so this particular package has technically been late since the 8th. And it looks like TikTok does violations. So it might end up being a violation for me, even though it has nothing to do necessarily with me,
Yeah.
but it's going to count negatively on my account when it's all said and done. I checked this morning. It hasn't updated yet because it's still going off of last week. So I'm assuming it updates like once a week, like your account health or whatever it's called. But that will be my first negative impact on my account due to the post office.
And then also, is it still 30 days?
Yeah, still 30 days. So I think I gotta double check. Oh, actually, take it back, man. Let me check one thing. I got an email that I moved up one tier. I don't remember what the tier is, but I know I moved up my probation. I think it's still 30 days, but I'm making my way out of the probation period.
Okay.
So I looked it up and I'm trying to find it while we're on here right now. But basically they have like different tiers on this stuff. On, okay, you're brand new, you're like tier 1, and then, this is what we're gonna give you. 30 days and you could only list this amount. And then when you get to the next tier, then they kind of get a little more lenient. You might get your money a little quicker. You could list a little more. So I'm kind of getting into the second tier. Now, other than I think this order that's been messed up, you can basically see that, okay, like I'm putting stuff and, I'm actually shipping everything on time. So I'm hoping that means that, soon it won't be 30 days, but I should be getting paid pretty soon for my first sales because that was about a month. That was
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been about a month. So I think the 30-day probation period should have already ended already.
Yeah, I gotta double check, and see. I mean, for me, the thing that really kind of stops me from going all in on the TikTok is because they flag everything.
Yeah, I remember you were telling me that.
So, the games that I put, it's random, but I can't put any Batman games. I can't put any Disney games. I can't put Star Wars gets flagged. But then again, I got one Star Wars game that went through, but then all the other Star Wars games get flagged. So, for me, I don't put too much time into it just for the fact that I could spend so much time listing stuff just for them to deny like half of it. So, my time is better used probably just putting that stuff on Encore or some other place. So I do put stuff on TikTok periodically since I've been getting the sales. But just because they're kicking like half of it away, I don't really, I don't spend a whole day posting stuff on TikTok as much as I really wanted to. It still seems like it's a good platform, but just for the fact that I would say second or third listing that I make gets kicked back. I mean, that's time consuming. You know how it is, man. Sitting there posting stuff and this and that,
Yeah,
making a video, all of that for them to be like, nah.
yeah, for it to get flagged or not even sell. So no, I feel you because I've been getting frustrated just putting videos of on there for the Tumblr cups. I think I put one recently, but it never uploaded. So I don't know if I did it wrong or I ended up doing the process that you explained to me the last time we discussed over the phone about how to do it. And for some reason, when I go on my TikTok shop, it still shows my other two Tumblrs. It doesn't show the Super Bowl Tumblr of the Bad Bunny one that I made for some reason. So I just said, you know what? I just left it alone.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things, man. It is what it is for me. Like I said, I sold something there. Yes, I think my last sale was yesterday. I dropped off a package, so it's still coming in. So I'm gonna keep using it, but I would say that just the process could be a little better
Hmm.
more than anything. But I mean, if people seem like they're spending, and the next thing is, who knows if they're actually spending money? Because I was driving in the car the other day, and I heard that TikTok, if you're new to TikTok, they're giving you like a $20 voucher or something like that. Um, to use on TikTok Shop if you're like brand new to TikTok. So I was thinking like maybe a lot of my sales are just that.
They're
They're
just
like,
helping
hey,
you out. They're like, "Hey, he's new. Let me go ahead and give them this voucher, help him out real quick."
yeah, or they're like, you know what? You're brand new to TikTok. You get free $20. You don't know what to burn it on. You're like, hey, let me burn it on, this game or that game. Yeah, I mean, for me, the sale's a sale, but I'm wondering if they decide to stop that promotion, will that affect the little sales that I'm getting?
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
point.
Because I always try to think of things like analytically and all that. But I mean, it's been pretty decent. Other than that, Mercari's been steady, which is bizarre. Mercari's been good, and then like Facebook Marketplace for me is always A1, cash in hand,
Yep. Like you say,
cash in hand.
cash in hand.
Yeah, man. But what about you, man? What are your sales looking like, bro?
For me, Macari, not really, because I know since you've told me about the flip apps, I was assuming that that probably work a little bit better for me. But Macari, I haven't really sold anything. It's just pretty much what is it? Poshmark's been doing very well for me, and then I don't have a cross listing app connected to my marketplace, but marketplace been doing okay for me because like how you
Okay.
discussed, cash is king, like always, cash in king, cash in hand. Everybody wants that green in their hand, so it's a lot quicker transactions. So for the marketplace, I've been doing okay. I've been getting some of the flakes that you've been talking about like previous episodes where you tell the people, hey, if you still have it, and then they tell you they want to meet you, but then they don't ever show up. So I've been having
Absolutely.
that lately. Matter of fact, I think I had two yesterday asking me like, "Hey, do you have it in hand?" And then I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "When can you come?" They're like, "Oh, I can come today." And then it's like, "Well, I'll give you the address when I know you're actually gonna come." So that never happened. Then I had another person the other day say, "Hey, do you have this certain item available?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do. When do you want to come get it today?" And then they're like, "Yeah, I want to get that. And there's other items in your store that I noticed that I would like to purchase." And I'm like, "Well, let me know. We can work something out. I'll give you, I'll definitely give you a great deal." But that never happened. So marketplace has been okay for me. And then eBay, I just been selling. I'm getting like at least 20 to 30 sales a day. And I'm thinking just because probably like how we said because of the holidays, and it all
Yeah.
started from I guess a week and a half ago from Black Friday. So I've just been getting sales, and I'm not doing like promotions or anything because I know you probably done promotions on maybe eBay or when you did or on your other stuff. Like I know like for your cabinets, I know I seen that you done promotion like 15% or 10% off, or like some people might do buy two, get one free or some sort of thing like that. But with me, I just send whatever little bit of offer, and then people just been buying bulk of stuff on my eBay store. So my eBay store been doing pretty well. I can't complain. It's just me just trying to catch up because how I was telling you that there's like a little flu bug going around. So, my kid's been sick, so it's kind of pushing me back a little bit just to catch up on these items to ship out for these customers. And then obviously the post office, me explaining to these individuals, hey, look, it's out of my control. There's just, the holidays are coming, so you just have to bear with me. I'll get it out when I can.
Definitely. Yeah, they're already started, man. I already got my one, and I'm hoping he actually gets it. And but I know, with the post office, especially this time of year, once you drop it off, I mean, you just got to drop it off with like a little prayer or something on the side, 'cause
Mm-hmm.
you know it might not get to where it's supposed to go. But yeah, man, see, I'm glad the eBay thing is, I mean, for you, eBay always is king. eBay always works out well. And it's funny, like I read a lot of like I watch a lot of videos, I read a lot of like reselling stuff, similar to like what we're doing. And there's so many people that talk about, man, like, hey, eBay's dead, man, blah blah blah. But you're a perfect example of the fact that eBay's still going, man, because you're getting sales every day on there. And a lot of people don't believe that that's a thing anymore. For me, eBay's never been my strong app that I use the most or I get the most from. But, for you, that's constant, income coming in, and that just proves that, eBay's not really going anywhere.
Yeah. But then too, a lot of people don't do eBay because I think me and you discussed one time too that the fees, their percentage that they take out is kind of somewhat high, but um I feel like you don't really notice it as long as you're consistently selling. And I think the fees
Yeah.
are only high too if you promote the listing. I do notice when I do promote the listing on there with eBay, I do get more traffic in my store, so I'm able to sell a lot more rather than me not promoting it. because I don't get as much. But again, it goes back to the loyalty that you have with buyers. So they're gonna constantly go to your store, and if they like what they see and they like the customer service that you gave them and stuff like that, they're gonna go ahead and keep on buying from your store with the amount, whether it's getting promoted or not. They're gonna save your store as a favorite. I've been fortunate to have that coming up. I know you don't do sports cards, but I found this other one. I watched it. I've been had it, but I just never really like followed up on how to actually sell on it. It's called buysportscards.com. So
Okay.
I've just found out they don't charge for a seller's fee as becoming a new seller. So I don't really know how they make money, but I was watching videos. They don't charge you seller's fee. So I've been kind of working with that lately, but it's a lot easy to post on there where I watched a video and it showed me how to list a lot of the sports cards, where it's a lot easier as in doing it on eBay.
Okay, so yeah, so that I mean that can open up a huge avenue for you. And since you talked about sports cars, I actually got a notification like a couple days ago, and I meant to send it to you. We were talking about TikTok with the tumblers. Maybe you should do sports cards on there, bro, because they actually have a big sports car section. They invited me over, maybe because I think video games are similar to do like I got approved for sports cards breaks or whatever all of that is. I won't be doing any of that, but that's something that you could probably do on TikTok too, man, and that might be a successful route because there's a lot of people doing card breaks all over these apps, man.
No, you're right. Because on TikTok, I didn't. Well, I've been seeing a lot of people doing breaks on there, but I just not like in my mind, I just haven't been really like, oh, let me go on there and do a break. Because the only thing is, I've done breaks on whatnot, but it's just a lot of people are looking for the more high end stuff, and a lot of people don't really buy the low end. So that's why I kind of jumped into this one called buy sportscards.com, because a lot of people that are looking for the low end type of cards, they're able to go onto this site and purchase low end cards that they may not find anywhere else. So people can put their collection on here, and you can start the cards at a quarter, and then it's an easy process. So yesterday, like I said, I was just listing a couple, and I haven't done too much on there yet, but I'm just trying to see how it goes. It's just another platform, just trying to see how well it does, just like how you're trying the TikTok and how you're doing Encore and all the other ones, and how we do Macari. Just trying to see if I can make money in another platform, and it's just as easy as anything else. Why not? So that's why I'm just trying to test it out and see.
Absolutely, bro. I mean, that's really what it's all about. There's so many different apps, you know, for us to make money and people, don't have to. I mean, most people just think about the okay, well, there's Whatnot and there's eBay and there's this, but there's so many smaller apps where money's actually flowing, man. So, I mean, that's pretty dope that you found that, and then hopefully it works out because sports cards right now are still big, man. People are, I know everybody talk about Pokemon cards, but sports cards are still up there. People are spending some serious money on cards, and I mean, that's an avenue that you know pretty well. So I mean, you should be able to find that success through that. Just selling cars, maybe doing some breaks, singles, slabs if you got them, all of that. Yeah, there's money out there, bro.
Yeah, no, you're right. And what's crazy is I know how you're bringing about Pokemon and stuff like that. I met this guy that just recently he bought something off of me on Marketplace. And what's crazy, he was telling me he resells too and stuff like that. He resells slabs and he collects sports slabs. And how we're talking about sports cards, I guess he was saying he had a valid point. Well, he kind of had a valid point. Because I know me and him were talking about how sports cards and stuff in general, it's kind of like well, it's the same thing with video games too. It's kind of like a stock exchange. There's a market for it, but then the market crashes and it comes up and down. It fluctuates all the times. He was saying that I guess one of his friends was telling him like, "Hey, why do you collect sports card slabs, knowing that these players can be hot one moment and then the next moment they might get hurt or vice versa trade or whatever, and then the value goes down." And then he was like, "When you get Pokemon cards." He was like, the value never goes down because they're never going to get hurt. And I told him I never really thought about that, because it was a pretty good point. But the thing is, too, the values do kind of go down on the Pokemon cards because the problem is, like, I know what my brother was telling me, they're always coming out, I think, every 2 to 3 months or something like that with a new series all the time. So a certain card might be in demand when it first comes out, but then, like, once another one comes out, another series, that same exact card might be a different insert or parallel. It might worth that one might worth more, and then the other one might go down a little bit more. But he ended up telling me that, and I was like, yeah, I never thought about that. But I just feel like with just cards in general, there's a market for it. But I know Pokemon like TCG and all that, and Disney and all that, and SpongeBob and so on and so forth. That market's always going to be there because there's younger generation, there's an older generation, and there's people that's getting into it now that want to collect it, that they just think it's fun because of the hobby. But it goes up and down. Everything fluctuates, whatever we do. So
Yeah, that's true 100%. I mean, the card stuff that's way out of my pay. I don't know anything about any of that, but I know, I mean, it's similar. Like I said, all these things, values go up. It's like a game. There's games that, you could find on the PlayStation Store. If they take that game down and you can't download it, then the physical copy goes up. But then if they re-release another older game, then the value on that original copy can go down because, now it's easily accessible online. So there's so many different variables that come into like pricing, and of course a lot of it comes down to the amount that's available, the amount that was printed or made or whatever the case may
yeah,
be. But overall, I mean, all of that stuff is at an all-time high, man. Everybody's starting to collect things that they can hold, things that they can have. So those cards, those games, physical copies of even DVDs, VHS, that's some of these things are going for higher prices now because of, everything being digital. People want to be able to look at what they have, hold
yeah.
what they have. So, it's a good thing, man. And, anybody who's coming into this reselling game right now, it's still a good time to get in and get your bearings, focus on what you think your niche is, or then again, people could be at everything, man. Like you sell everything, bro. So there's so many different avenues that you can take to make money right now, especially with all these different apps. There's an app that can basically appeal to every seller as well as every buyer.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. There's apps for everything. Well, like, you just stated, anyone that's trying to start to become a reseller today, tomorrow, whenever, there's so many apps, there's so many avenues, there's so many people that you can connect with. It's a lot easier now where you can find actual stores to get certain things besides just going to thrift stores or, whatever. You just go to your local yard sales. And then too, like I know Marketplace is a great place to find stuff on there or offer up. But it's easy. And then there's videos now. You got the technology. Everyone goes on YouTube to learn certain things, how to sell certain things. And, I know we both, we watch videos for other resellers that do certain things or try to find certain things, what's hot and what's not, or what to look for. Because I'm not saying that me and you know everything, what to look for, but there's other stuff that we might be able to find that no one can't find, and you can connect with people with that. Because there's a lot of groups that are able to help you and guide you with the information that you need to become, a decent or a professional reseller, to become a full-time or just do a part-time.
Absolutely, man. I mean, there's knowledge is power, man. I learn something new every day, and I've been doing this for a while. And, I still find new things that can help me, things that have probably been hurting me. And, I just kind of run with that. And, you have to be able to adapt as a reseller because things change, man. And you never want to get caught holding the bag or get caught left behind because you were stuck in your ways. I mean, look at me. I would never, when we were talking like what, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, you know, I would never be probably even doing this.
Yeah, I know the podcast.
No podcast. I wasn't trying to be all up in the videos. I'm not trying to be doing any of that stuff. And, now I do that just for the fact that I know that that's going to help my business. Doing Encore, that I wouldn't 3, 4 years ago be thinking about doing stuff like that where I got to be making videos and this and that. But that's what's been getting me sales. So, at the end of the day, as a reseller, you just got to adapt to the environment, man, and see where things are going and where you can make things go to benefit yourself.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. I totally agree with you what you're saying. And then too, I agree with you. Like you said, 3 years ago, I don't think you even thought we were going to be doing this. I know we were in discussion about doing certain things, but I know we never really talked about doing a podcast. And at the end of the day, I am thankful that we're able to do this podcast together and discuss about in and outs of what we do, what works for us, what what doesn't work for us, try to give and guide people certain information that they need that can help benefit them. And then also too, like me and you, we keep each other accountable. So we try to figure out each other's schedule to do an episode and stuff where we can get this out to everybody to listen to. So, amen to that. I'm glad we're on the right path because I know sometimes some people do certain things. They're never held accountable, or they just after a couple episodes for whatever may be, they just choose not to do it, and they end up splitting up and going a different direction. But obviously, it works for me and you because this is something that we love to do as in resellers. We like to go out and hunt. It gives us a high. It pays our bills, and at the same time, we have fun doing it, and we get to network for everybody.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's can be challenging at times, but when you're making your own money and you're being your own boss and you're doing things on your own terms, that's always, to me at least, going to be better than the alternative. One thing is, no matter the market, no matter the finances, anything like that, people need to look to buy stuff. That's just what it is. I think, let's just say, a economic downturn, I think you will probably do really well because you sell everything. So you could just pivot to, like, something else essentially. But for me, and I've said this plenty of times before, what I sell to people is just entertainment at the end of the day. You can't eat a video game, you can't, you know, um, all of that type of stuff. You know, at the end of the day, people still, right now, times might be tough financially for a lot of people, but I'm still shipping games. I'm still having people come pick games up on Marketplace, consoles on Marketplace, so people are still looking to buy, no matter what. And, if people are looking to buy, then there needs to be people looking to sell. So, I always tell everybody, man, just keep your head down, keep doing what you do, and eventually the sales will come.
Yeah, totally right. The sales will come, and like you said, we got to continue what we need to do, and the people got to continue to buy, and it'll be great for everyone in this reselling market, this reselling game. So, and that's what we need. So, other than that, thank you guys for listening to another great episode of Thrift Chronicles. I know we talked about a lot of different things, but we just want to appreciate you guys coming in. So, until next time, I'm Johnny O, and my co-host.
Your boy Games by Omar. Take it easy, everybody. Make your money. Happy holidays.
Yes, sir.